My microphone's on. Your microphone's on. Now we just wait for a few moments as we awkwardly see if our audio works and if the stream is still live.
Fair.
I gotta get the Facebook stream going so I can see. Alright, it's lagging a little bit, but it seems to be alive. Both sounds good. Oh, stop. Yes, the background music. Thank you, Steve. It's because there's so many things on my audio mixer, and it's like, for some reason, desktop audio is on my audio mixer like 3 times. I'm so confused.
Interesting.
Oh, OBS. Devin, thank you so much for joining. I'm doing well. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I got inside right before the storm started.
Yeah. Storm does, like, it's just starting over here. So
yeah.
And then what else? Okay, Cobra Jet, you have a question about the full foil packs, because I'm not calling them what everyone else calls them. I don't know how I feel about releasing those numbers. I mean, just have fun getting them. Don't freak out about them or anything. If you get them, then that's awesome. If you don't, then enjoy what you got.
I'll give them a clue. It's more than one.
Yeah.
More than one a pack. Yeah.
You're definitely, it's not happening every pack or every other pack. How much is true? Oh, could you imagine a game where like every single pack, like all your cards are just foil all the time?
That's magic nowadays. You just got to pay extra for it though, apparently.
Not my magic. Not my magic.
Steve says they're jackpot packs.
I like that. That's a good one. We should call them golden ticket packs and then have like a golden card at the back or something like that. It's like, fun times. All right. So let's get things started. Genesis collector pack soon. I was not playing Magic when the collector packs came out. I don't quite understand the purpose of them. I don't. So, maybe someone can explain to me, but Alex, what's your perspective on the collector packs?
Back in the day when I got a foil common in a pack, it meant something. Now it means nothing for Magic. You buy a collector pack and you get all the commons foil.
Yeah, like I remember it being such an accomplishment to get I played mono black control. So when I got a full foil, like 20 or I think 22 foil swamps, I felt so accomplished. Like that was the peak of my collectorness in Magic. And like the thing is, they stretched back for like 5 years. I was trying to get these foil swamps. So I had so many different sets worth of foil swamps. It wasn't just all from the newest set, right? Yeah. Oh, Force of Will did them. I know the thing I like is Pokemon shiny packs, where you get like the shiny variant of the Pokemon in the pack. I'm like, that's really cool. I play a lot of Pokemon Go, and I love the shiny concept. I think they actually did it really well. If you want to look about how collecting works, I think Pokemon did it really well. Because on one end, I love the fact that I can't get shinies, and I get so excited clicking into something as simple as a Rattata and having the odds that it could potentially be shiny. I think that's really cool. It gives so much more playability. Anyways, we're not here to talk about other games. We're here to talk about Genesis. This is just us vamping to make sure that the audio works. And it clearly does because people are chiming in. So, we're talking about the championship tonight. We're going to be looking back at 2019's championship from both perspectives. The person who set it all up and the person who almost won it. Was that insulting? Was that insulting enough for you, Alex? Almost won it.
No, I'm not insulted by it.
And then looking at what we're planning to do for this year's championship, because I announced it this morning. We are going to be doing a championship this year. Fingers crossed, pray to Allah or God or whomever, and to make sure that it happens this year and we don't have another lockdown. But
yeah,
we will, as long as it's safe to do it, we will do the championship this year. So, where do you want to start? Do you have any questions for me about like your time, like from your perspective of the championship, the 2019 one?
Well, I could give you my full perspective of the
Okay.
championships. I'm gonna try to remember everything.
All right.
So
one sec. Before we jump into there, Kovajet is asking, will there be a way to get foil champions, except from promos? I think the original 12 will probably stay in their locked in their promo form. The future champions, we have plans. They will be accessible outside of Patreon. But how that's gonna happen is gonna be interesting to I think that's the best way of saying it. But there's definitely gonna be something. We're definitely planning something. The main reason why they're not part of the current print lines of foils is because we had what was it, 220 slots, and we used like 198 of them, so we had a bit less than 24 empty slots left, and we needed 24 if we wanted all champions and all artworks for those champions to be on that foil sheet. So we just couldn't make it work, unfortunately. But we have plans for the next ones. Yeah, that's I don't want to give too much away. Focus on J2. All right.
I can't. You keep making me work on this other set for some reason.
You can't focus on J2. That's not your job. Where's the work on invasions? Come on.
Hey, we have a meeting for invasions on Friday, actually.
Right,
haven't told you about that one. There you go.
All right. I finally got invited to the meetings for invasion. All right.
Oh, no, I didn't say you're invited. No, oh, no.
Oh, sucker. All right. Go for it.
All right, so step one. You gotta get to the championship. So if you guys haven't gotten to a championship yet, the first step is find your local Steve and you make him drive you there. That is your first step in getting to a championship.
Because there's always a local Steve.
There's a local Steve.
There's always a local Steve.
So there's actually supposed to be 4 of us going. One of us couldn't make it, unfortunately, that day. He ended up stuck with the children, so he couldn't come. So it just ended up being me, Steve, Nick. We drive on down. I remember walking in. There's a bunch of chairs. There's a table to the far right, but there's nobody at the table at this point. It's just a table. So I think we walk over there, just look at stuff. Still nobody was there, but we saw the deck list, the paper, I think, and the pencils. So we're just like, let's go write our decks. And then we went over to the lounge area in the middle, starting writing our decks. Steve apparently doesn't agree to this. Don't worry, Steve. You're my local Steve. For other people, they have to get their own local Steve. We started writing down our decks, and then Nick goes, I'm missing cards. He didn't bring his full deck. I was like, what? What do you mean you're missing cards? And so then luckily I brought like all my decks, so I was able to pull the pieces he was missing out of all my other decks. Gave him those. Finally, someone was at the area, and I think we handed the deck list there. I'm trying to remember. I feel like we did that. It's been a while, but
yeah.
But then we walked inside. Lots of tables. You got your Steve-O booth right in front with all his products. I think the most exciting stuff was actually your binders were there with some of the very old stuff. That was really cool to look at. There was an auction table. I think at this point you had snacks at the back, and then you had the designers somewhat spread about that you could face to get badges.
Yes.
I know we sat down sort of in the middle, sort of sat down for a small bit, because I don't think you specifically told anybody yet at this point that you could face the designers, and we were pretty early.
Yeah. There wasn't even anyone at the front table. You were definitely early.
It wasn't that early. But it was luckily not busy enough that I was able to get in a game with you early enough at that point. And that was the first time in a long drought of you finally beating me in a game. From there, I went off. I think I faced Carl. Pretty much I faced all the designers. Pretty clean sweep them pretty easily. So. And every time, and I wasn't using my championship deck. And each of them asked, "Are you playing that in the championship?" And I went, "No." Because I remember afterwards, I think you talked to them, and at least one of them was like, "Can I face your championship deck?" And then I showed them the championship deck, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, that's more powerful than the last deck you beat me with." I was like, "Yeah." But that was good. The matches themselves, they started. I think it went pretty well as far as I was going. I was mostly fearful of the OTK, and my first match was against OTK. But the OTK was not prepared for me, apparently. Because luckily Rain doesn't have much health, so if you get up to them, throw a bunch of tsunamis at her, she's not doing much. No. And that's literally what happened. OTK folded like it normally does in the second round. It just had nothing, and just lost. That's just what the OTK does. It's either does its thing or it doesn't.
Yep.
My second match. I faced Rain. I faced Malik in the quarter. I don't know who my next partner is. Was it another Rain?
I don't know.
I thought I only faced 2 Rain. So I know I faced Rain, then I faced Malik, then I faced Rain, and then I faced Raha. Or was there only four matches? I'm trying to remember now.
There was only 4.
Because we did an extra. We added an extra match than there was originally going to be, right?
Yeah, but I don't think we would have gone to 5. I think we did 4.
Mm-hmm. So about halfway through, before we did the cutoff to top 8, you unveiled some big fancy artwork of 4 new champions. I gonna warn everybody now. I don't think he plans to do 12 banners for the championship.
So I actually have that banner hanging up in my office. It's pretty awesome. That's when you told everybody that the designers who were playing their decks now we're switching to those champions. And you did also explain a little bit how their decks. I don't know if they had separate decks or they were just switching the champion. We did.
Out.
We had 2 completely different decks. Because who was I starting off with? I started off with.
You were Khan.
I switched into Khan.
Yes.
But I started off with Raha, and I think I only got 2 games in with Raha and 3 games in with Khan.
Yeah.
It was definitely. The whole entire idea was we were representing one of the 4 cities. So I was Vadhis. I started off with one of the known Vadhis champions, and then switched into the new one, which was awesome.
I remember that back in that day. You were playing Khan, who wasn't an immediate at that time, so it was a trigger, and I think he was also Swift Attack.
It was Swift Attack, yep.
Yeah. So it was very strong, as you would always double move behind me and hit me behind. I was like, I'm pretty sure I lost the first one, but I think I won the next 2.
Yeah.
But from there, you guys cut to top 8. And then for everybody else, you did a draft event with the new champions. I have no experience with the draft event and how that went because I was not a part of that while it was going. Had my Malik matchup. That went pretty well. Sorry, Malik, you're too slow for me. First, when you're facing me, I knew that. When you have to come, when you come into my tsunami range, and I don't even have to come after you, it went pretty well for me.
Yeah.
But the next match, which was the next OTK match, was a lot more terrifying. Because despite having now at this point beat OTK, this OTK had made it all the way to the finals. So I don't know if it was a different deck. I don't know if it was a better player. But playing it, I didn't know how I won. The first, I still don't know how I won. The first round went. He had the play. I lost the die roll. So that's a step right there against me.
Yeah.
He comes in, does his full combo, and leaves me at 1 health. And I go, like he did all his cards. He still has some cards in his hand. I'm like, is that it? Because I was in shock that I didn't die that turn. I was like, yeah. I went, oh, okay. And that's when I just turned and just blew him up. I think the second game, I think he took me out. I'm trying to think. I don't remember. No, I don't know. Wow, it's been a long time. I can't remember. Well, I guess it's been a long time, but I can't remember if we went to 2 to 3 or not. But the next game, he didn't properly calculate his aura. Not that he did it wrong. He overspent. So he went to do his combo. He couldn't do it. And then I was able to take him out. And I walked away from that, and I walked over to you and was like, ah! In your face. I was like, oh my god, I did it. I beat you okay. And then there was sort of a lull, because cough, cough, somebody was playing slowly, Steve-O. So there's a large time gap where Steve-O was still facing his match. Yeah. Which I think was a mirror match. It was sort of a... Well, not exactly. It was Angels.
No. It was Nubia Angel. Yeah. Nubia Angel.
Versus Raha.
Yeah.
And then, that went long. But then, when Steve-O was done, he was like fully shaken. He had the shakes going on. He was like, I need to have a smoke. So we were like, okay, go outside. We'll give you some time.
Yeah.
I don't remember when you did the auction. I didn't participate. I don't know why. I just didn't. I felt that I wanted to give opportunity for other people. I buy product, I guess. I don't usually at a store at that point. So I was like, these unique stuff let some other people who want to do it. And I'm not a collector. I'm more like you. I actually don't think I've ever had a full shiny deck. And I have been playing all sorts of card games, literally all of them since I was 5. And I have never had a want to get a full shiny card. If I have a shiny card, I usually trade it to somebody else who wants it, getting the regular version and something else I want.
Nice.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So I had no feeling for the collectible stuff at that time, and then the finals happened pretty much. The most memorable moment is the moment that we've talked about before. Is that is the moment where there's just silence for about 3 minutes, and then I go. I just assume Steve-O's in deep thought because we're both just staring down at the board, rubbing our chins, looking at our cards, looking at the board, and then I go, Steve-O, it's your turn, and he goes, oh. Oh.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that my deck had ever fully lost a round. When it was in the finals of the championships.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so the auction, we did the announcements for that after we did the announcements for the winner, I think, or maybe before. It was around that time we did the auction, the raffle, and then the winnings for the tournament. And the OTK deck was really interesting because it was very math heavy. I think one of the games, I don't remember if it was you lost it or Steve-O won, but it was because they didn't realize that when you Living Shadows in, you only get 1 rotate instead of 2.
That was actually Steve.
Yeah.
That was actually Steve. Yeah. Because Steve told me about the match, and I was like, oh, did you realize you can't do this?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. And I remember correcting someone, they went and did Living Shadows and had rotated 180 with it. I was like, you can't do that. You only get 90-degree rotate. And they're like, oh, well then I can't do my combo now. And then just died. So that's rough. There's so much it's not a simple like, oh, you just draw
Yeah.
the cards and you win. It's you. There's a lot of math behind it, and as the person who's exposed to the combo, your only hope of survival sometimes is that your opponent miscalculated. And they're off
Yeah.
by one card in their deck, or they're off by one aura.
And it happened a lot, surprisingly.
Yeah, yeah. It was. It's not like OTK decks I've seen in other games, and I especially think of Yu-Gi-Oh because that's a game that's notorious for OTK.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you get the pieces of the puzzle together and it all just works. And here, there's a lot more room for error.
Sure.
Yeah. I remember like setting it up. It was a combination of like hosting a really cool tournament and also hosting a party. Because like I remember buying the cookies and being like, oh, so I live nearby a cookie factory, Peak Freen's cookie factory, and so I was able to go there and get cookies for really, really cheap. And I was like, all right, I'm getting a bunch of cookies and candies there. My mentor brought in a bunch of pops because he works for Loblaws, and he was like, all right, I'll just get you pop for free. Like, he can get it anytime. And then we also got the pizza, and I was like, you know what, this really just feels like me hosting a giant Genesis party. Like, I have all my friends over, we're just playing Genesis. It felt so different than like, it felt a lot less formal than it should have been.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It was the first one, and I think a lot of people coming there, a majority of people were coming in. We're just coming in to play for fun.
Yes. Yeah.
So there were some people who were pretty serious about wanting to win, but I think even Steve-O himself, if he didn't win it, he still would have just been happy to have been there.
Yeah. For sure.
So
I think if I had one advice, I think for the event going out, or for the must change, or not necessarily must, that's just maybe a strong word, is not having you run the event, not you doing the actual like setting it up for the typing. You need to go do other stuff.
Yeah, and like it also wasn't my forte, right? Like I realized earlier that year that a championship was very necessary for the game, for the health of the game. But for me personally, like I'm more about people just gaming, like the actual competitive scene and the collecting scene. Those are aspects that, though I appreciate and I enjoy to a degree, I also don't value as much as people just playing on the kitchen table, people playing with their family and friends. I think that it needs to be a game that people just play. So that aside, though, there are a lot of things I want to see for the championship moving forward, and I think a really good part about it is that we do have judges coming to the next, like actual formal judges being there for the next event. And people who are a lot less biased. Like for me, I got to know everyone in the community. I chat with them. Like even before you came to the championship, we were pretty close friends. Like we knew each other really well. Sure. Steve-O and I saw Steve-O at least twice a week. I at that point already, I had recognized that I made more friends since I started this company than the rest of my life. So for me, yeah, it was a big thing that it did feel like a lot of friends hanging out. But when you have people who are hosting the event who who don't know the players as well, who don't know the community as well, I think for them it's going to be a lot more of a formal thing. So it's also going to be finding a balance between it. I don't think it should be formal to a degree that people feel uncomfortable being there.
Yes, I agree.
I think it should be something kind of like the middle between like something closer to a convention, where it's formal to the point where there's rules, there's regulations, there's ways to conduct yourself, and to be friendly to people around you. But at the same time, these are a bunch of people who are getting together for the love and appreciation of this topic, and let's celebrate that as well.
Yeah.
So,
side events. What are your thoughts on side events? You did have your own side events because technically you had the draft, you had the with the designers side events. Did you feel those went well? Do you feel you needed more to occupy more people? Because there was only so many designers.
I think that there should be an opportunity to interact with the people who are hosting the event between matches. I think there should be something that the players can do at all times, so that they're not bored. So if you're playing a match and just say it ends really quickly, you decimate your opponent in the first few minutes, and you're like, okay, what do I do now? There should be something for you to go do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want too many people who are dedicated to doing that side stuff, because that was the issue, was that so many people wanted to play against me. I didn't have the time.
Yeah.
But if I did have the time to do all those side events, then what if there was no one to do that? Then what else am I doing? It's finding that balance, which was also a challenge. Something I do want to do in the future, and this was supposed to happen in the 2019 championship. I don't know if I ever told you this, but we actually bought Damian a plane ticket to come.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to come a week before the event and stay for like 2 or 3 days afterwards. We had his living space set up. We knew what we are going to do for food. Like, everything was planned, and he was going to go visit all the stores. But unfortunately, like, kind of last minute, he realized he couldn't get his visa approved. They said, oh, it'll be approved in time. It'll be approved. And then it just never was. So he didn't actually get to come. But I think having the artist there would be really cool. Because then, as a player, you can go get... if it's really slow, you can ask for them to do commission pieces. If it's busy, you can go get signatures. You can talk to them. You can show them the pieces you love. And they'll talk about, their design, their process behind it. So I think having that interaction. And on top of that, I want the artists to know that there are people out there who love their art, like, so much. I don't think the art team realizes that. So that would be definitely a side event. I think always having the opportunity for people to just sit down and start doing a sealed or a draft. I think a sealed would be a really fun, like, hey, we got 30 minutes to kill. Let's just open up 6 packs, make a deck, and start playing. I think those type of things would be a lot of fun to do. And then, what else? I think challenging the people, like the game design team, the content creators, stuff like that. It's also very rewarding. It's a really good feeling, because then all these people who who are really involved with the game, you interact with them, you get to show them, hey, I got to beat the creator of the game. Though I'm not that hard to beat, it's still something that people really enjoy doing. So.
Now, have we thought about having a crew that is dedicated to? Gotta say this right. Not necessarily to live streaming, but sort of like a host so that online audiences can watch parts of the championship type thing.
I definitely want to have that set up a lot. Very much different than we did before. I'm a lot better with OBS. Actually, literally earlier that day is when I installed OBS on my computer. I knew nothing about streaming before that day. So I've gotten a lot better with that. We would definitely have... I want to set up equipment in such a way that we can have a table that's being streamed. The top table is being streamed. But also you can have commentators who are further away being able to watch things and add their, their comments. I think that would be really cool to do. I just don't know if we have the equipment for that just yet, or the expertise. But that's something I would love to do. I know that I would be inviting a lot of our streamers, like Ben Trading Cards or Scheming Skeleton, if they're available. I would be inviting them to come to the event, stream the event. And just interact with it as much as they can. So those are things I would love to see for the championship. It's just the logistics of it is something that we're not skilled at yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Darren says maybe just having play tables set up for people to just play with their friends or anything while they aren't playing their matches. Yeah, I would love to do that. I think the issue we had that year was space, and that might be an issue again, depending on how many people show up. But we're definitely trying to get more space so that we can have more just free area for players to roam and just enjoy themselves.
We put our most talkative man on
Yeah. Okay, there's a chance that some streamers might come also and run their own coverage. Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. So, yeah. I would love to see also, what was I gonna say? I would love to see people who are part of the event, who their goal is to just make the event more, remove downtime, remove boredom for players. If you see someone who's sitting by themselves and they don't know what to do, just go and chat with them. It'd have to be a very extroverted person who's not, creepy at all. So probably not me, but having people who are there, who are just there to be hosts, right? Who are there to make everyone feel good about having being at the event. I think that would be a really good, a very important role to have. The other thing I'm looking at doing is looking for some high school students who need to get their volunteer hours.
Well, that was my next question. Have you thought about, just in general, putting out a thing to say, do people want to volunteer?
Yeah, I've already asked someone who's going to be helping with volunteering at the event. This year, we just need to figure out how many people we need. And yeah, I'll probably be asking for that for sure. Ben, sure, I'll love to stream the event. I definitely do that. Yes. Ben had the craziest setup when he came to your store for the sealed. That was just like, it was so intense. It just came with bags and setting up all these lights and everything. I'm like, my streaming stuff fits in this like small little side bag. Because all I take with me is my camera and my microphone. I have one of those like arm things that connect to a table so I can get an overhead. And then I bring my laptop and charger. So it's so little stuff. I don't bring lights. I'm not as serious about this as Ben is. Darren, we'll talk about that. Darren says my sister needs volunteer hours, so we'll look into that when we need that. But it's also trying to figure out what roles people who don't know anything about the game can do, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely something to think about. Lots of things to think about. My brain's always going off and thinking about.
Yeah, to know people, it's like, I'm just bringing up all these things to sit right now.
Yeah.
Them at all.
Yeah, for everyone who's watching, just know that literally this morning when we had our touch point with the the executive managers of Haunted Castle Gaming, we all got together. And I was like, so we're gonna announce to people that we're doing the championship today, and they're like, yep, all right, let's start planning this. We're so ahead of ourselves. No, we did book a venue way back in like, what was it, March?
Yeah.
February, March. Like it was before Alex even I think joined the team. I had already booked a venue space for this year's championship, just as a backup, because we had it booked for last year as well, and then I was like, just book it again for next year. So we have a venue, but we're looking at potentially needing a bigger venue. Fun time. But I think a lot of the stuff for the championship, we know how to do a lot of the overhead logistics. Worst case scenario will be as good as last time. That's the worst case scenario. It wasn't that.
No, that's not possible. I'll be there. On the other side.
So worst case scenario is just as good as last time, except for the fact that Alex will be there. It'll be a little bit worse. It will be a little bit worse. That's all.
Well, for the players, I won't be on the playing side, so there's some competition off the top.
Oh, Steve-O's like training a group to be competitive out from his store, so that's got.
I don't usually start my training till the month though. For my guys, I haven't pulled out the championship deck in a long time. I've been playing fun decks. I played an air pillar deck this Sunday.
Nice.
It won. I took everybody down. So
I had a really nice Kun air pillar deck that I enjoyed playing with.
Yeah, I was running Raha, but I do think because every game I won at one hit points. So everything Raha could have done, Kun could have done, and probably been much more safer about it.
Yeah. Kun's attack was originally air as well when it was swift. Yeah.
Oh, poor Kun getting all these nerfs.
He got nerfed so much, and he's still super playable.
He is very playable.
Like, if he was left the same way, it would have been like, all right, so Von Hiss has Kun, Raha, and Nubia. Like, they're just, it's super biased right there. That would have been bad. All right, so upcoming championship. We know that we're aiming for November, mid to late November. We have an idea what the prize pool is going to look like, but I don't want to announce or set anything in stone just yet. Because I still want to figure out how sales for second edition goes, and for second edition reprinted, second edition round 2, looks like. So those are still up in the air. The other thing is, what was I gonna say? So we do know. I'll do the same thing with food because that was awesome. Like, I'm totally up for buying everyone dinner, especially if it's just pizza. Like, that's super simple. What else was gonna be there? So the artists won't be able to come this year because of COVID. And we want to try to keep this event. We don't want to.
We can get one artist.
Are we gonna get Cam? Oh yeah, isn't it a thing that we gotta get a giant copy of the baboon?
Yeah.
So we'll give that off or raffle that off to someone.
We'll have a cutout where the face is, so people can put their face into the image.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, that'd be so good. And then we have there's gonna be a lot of cool things. I think even in Southern Ontario, we have a lot more stores that are carrying Genesis who are building communities. So it should be a really great event, and then hopefully a bunch of other people can join us from different areas. I think my big question is, what do you see as... Do you think the OTK deck's going to come back? Like, is that something people should be prepared for?
I think somebody will definitely try it. It'd be foolish if there's nobody trying it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people now have forethoughts. So they actually have more tools against the OTK than they ever did before. But that could be a perfect reason to run the OTK.
Yeah.
Maybe people won't prepare for it. People will over prepare for it. When we were doing the meta designing for the forethoughts, we over forethoughted for OTK.
Yeah.
At the end of it, we decided we were just putting way too much stuff in the forethoughts against OTK that we weren't putting enough for other decks. So that in itself is going to be a unique space where people need to figure that out.
And if you're able to get the OTK to switch from being like an OTK deck to something else completely, then that would be really interesting. Because like if your sideboard is something like just a whole bunch of Shadow Claws and Dark Brands, and then you swap those in to become an OTK deck, that could really throw players off for a round and give you an advantage where your opponent wasn't expecting it at all. What do you think is the thing that players should plan for? What do you think is going to be the most played deck?
I think Angels is always going to be the most played deck. It is definitely the deck to plan for. So, like from testing that we've seen, is the top decks are Blitz decks and Angel decks. Now, most decks can naturally fight Blitz decks, but Angel deck you need specific tools for. So your deck normally should at least be able to be on par with the Blitz deck, and you just gotta survive the Blitz damage coming at you.
So Nubia or Necroswarm, those both came in chat. So Nubia, we know Angels, and Nubia has a Spellslinger deck, right?
Yeah, well, that's essentially what I ran, right?
Okay.
Last championship, you considered Spellslinger.
Yeah. Okay. And then Necroswarm.
Necroswarm's an interesting one. It's possible.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how much it changes. I think the biggest change between the previous championship and now is accessibilities and volume into the cards you need. Because before, getting as many bolt shots as Stevo had, getting as many combusses as some players wanted, like, it just wasn't possible in the past. Now, I think with J2, that is much more accessible. That is a lot easier to do. I think we're going to see more decks just being on par with everyone else. So I'm really excited to see that. I'm really excited to see if someone can bring in a Malik deck that really shakes things up. I love to see Malik, Rain, but non-OTK Rain, like a Vamp Kiss Rain deck. And then who else? I would like to see someone try to do the long summoner.
Long Summoner, I think, is honestly the most underrated, and I think could easily take the event. That's honestly where I think it's at.
That'd be awesome. Because we got the promo Long coming out soon. For anyone who doesn't know, I mean, I've announced it quite a bit, but if you don't know, we partnered with Kitchen Table TCG and Compete Sport. They did a giant bundle, but we're actually doing an alternate art promo Long thing, and it looks awesome. I'm gonna let them reveal it when they're ready to, but I think it's just so cool. It's all funny. So yeah, Long's gonna be a fun play. I still think and then Erica also has a good chance of really shaking things up.
Erica's really strong. The one champion I don't plan to expect to see, and maybe someone is Odara. I'm not even gonna mess around with it. I don't plan to expect to see Odara. That's it. I think everybody else at least has a opportunity.
What's the Fong deck?
We'll see. Fong. The interesting thing about Fong, which a lot of people don't look at, is Fong can do the Blitz deck just like anybody else. And a lot of people don't look at it, and then you just need the supporting techniques that Fong can play over the others can play.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is that people don't look at.
I think too many, when they go to play Fong, a lot of players look at the 2 reduction as in, let's try to find cards that I can play for free.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go the opposite direction. Let's try to find things that no one plays with and then play them for cheap enough that I can actually play with them. I would love to see Fong with Rain of Arrows and Galda Baboons.
Yes, that's what it would be the one I'd see with Fong. And the thing is, Ajna has the best forethought cards in the game.
You got Revenge.
They have Purifying Wave, Revenge of Phoenix. That's pretty much all you need.
Bolt shots.
Bolt shots just are always strong anywhere you put them.
Yeah. It depends on what your core 7 is. Because if you're running a Rain of Arrows and Galdas, you can switch the Rain Arrows for either Revenge or Bolt Shot, depending on you dealing with something like a Necrostorm. I'll probably run Bolt Shots. If you're dealing with Angels, Revenges work a little bit better.
Yeah.
Or Lightlesses.
Well, you can't run Lightless and Fang.
No, if you're dealing against Lightless.
Oh, okay, yes.
Revenge of the Phoenix is great against Lightless because Lightless gets hit back for the full 6 and doesn't prevent any of it. So I think that's... is there anything else about the championship that we already know that we can tell people about? I think...
Go ahead. You were going to say something?
I was going to say that I know another thing that I messed up on with the championship last year is that I didn't give enough product away. I am going to be giving things away not just to the top places, but I think there should be something given out to everyone.
Top 8?
Yeah.
Like you mean something special for top 8? Or just in general?
Yeah.
Well, so actually, that's something to bring up. Hey, last year, or last event, you gave away the Angel promo and the Scorpion promo, right?
Yes.
Now, you kept those in a very unsecured cardboard box. To the point where they're all beat up on all the sides. Not like bent or anything like that, just like...
No, those are how I got them.
Is that how you got them?
Yeah.
And so I've recently been getting some flack from people who buying them off my site, and they're like, hey, this is damaged. And I'm like, no, it came that way.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So, a little bit of story, what happened there, a little bit of a story, is that I reached out to our printers and was like, okay, we're doing this big event, I need some promos made, can you make them? And they're like, sure, we can make them. And then it went radio silent for a long time, to a point where I was like, wait, did they even do these promos? So I went and ordered other promos from a different place, got those in, and then like a day or two before the event, I get a phone call from the manufacturers, and they're like, yeah, we made those promos for you. And I was like, what? What? Like, I didn't know you were still doing them. I'm so confused. So they sent them, and I was like, these aren't in good condition. Like, they're completely messed up. There was just a lot of things wrong with it. So they're like, it's okay. Well, we did this as a gift for you. I was like, okay, sure. So I gave them out to all the players. But it was partly because, like, the championship was not... it was our first championship, right? We didn't think about things too far ahead. And I'm happy that we had a small group of people because we can make mistakes in front of small groups of people, and it's a little bit better. Devin's asking, what's your site? I'll throw that up.
I should which site? Genesis Battle Champion site?
No, I'm guessing the Dragon World one.
I should specify it's my wife's site.
Yes. Here, I'll throw that into chat. Specifically going to the Genesis portion of the site.
Yeah.
Here you go. So, yeah, that's what happened with the promos. I think the next round of promos is going to be a lot cleaner because we're getting them soon, and we already know what they are. I'm really excited about them. And then the other thing is, so yeah, I don't know how you feel about this, but I've always been someone who, I've always had the feeling of, I like to give prizes to also the people who are at the bottom places. Like, giving good prizes to the top places for sure, but give something to the bottom places so that they can work their way up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. So I know the weird things that, I've only been to really Magic. I only went once or twice. They have, their side events essentially give you, tokens or points or whatever, and then you cash them in for unique promos off at the side. It's something that they've done. I've never participated in it, but I do like to look at it because it's usually all foils, and it's very nice and pretty to look at. They usually have the full uncut sheet, and they usually have the mega enlarged card. That's all I remember.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I think everybody deserves something. Well, obviously, for even showing up to the event, they deserve coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but I think it should just... I don't know. I think packs are also very, very valuable. Help players build their collections so that you can get to a point where you can craft some things a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, because of COVID, we didn't get the chance to... have any events leading up to the championship, so it'll probably be a just first come first serve sign up sheet type of thing. And because of Ontario laws, we can't charge people for entry, but the way we make that up is from the auction. So I know you said you didn't participate in the auction, but how do you I know that you like the auction enough that you've never told me to stop doing it.
No, I never would.
Does it feel greedy in any ways?
No, not at all. When you think in comparison to other bigger tournaments, they do charge entry. Whether it's in Ontario or anything else, obviously they get around it because the way you get around it is they don't charge entry. They charge you for booster packs.
Yes.
With a premium on them, right?
Yeah.
That's how they get around it. So you do that for free, and I hope people understand that we do that just to recoup the cost of the venue.
Yeah.
I didn't view it in any other way.
Yeah. That's the big reason why I did it. It was you know what, we didn't charge for venue, we didn't charge for food or snacks or anything, right? It was just, if you're able to show up, you got stuff, right? And everyone got a t-shirt for showing up, and you got promo cards and all that kind of stuff, which was fun. But the auction was just our way of being if you want to help, then here are a bunch of ways you can get something that's really cool for yourself and help pay off some of the expenses. And I think that event, we just barely broke even on the expenses from the auction. Everything all in. So that worked out. I'm worried about doing an auction again because I know some of the things kind of went up in price. So it's I feel bad for charging but at the same time, I like auctions over raffles. I told you about this the whole day thing. That I do not like raffles. I love raffles if you don't have to pay to enter the raffle. If you're buying tickets for the raffle, I don't think that's fair. But if I just have random stuff that I'm giving away, then I'll just draw a name and someone gets it. Kind of
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like you did at your sealed event.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, do you have well, so first I'll answer the question. Steve asked, ooh, a mega and large card. Which one would be first? And Darren and I answered at the same time, the baboon.
Yeah.
And Steve responded, of course, with, so calming.
Yes. Like, I think that that's just the thing. It has to be the baboon.
My actual question to you was going to be, do you have any items already in mind for the auction?
So I know that you helped acquire a few things that I don't want anymore. So I have a lot of printing plates, if people are interested in those, because they're just taking up space right now, and I don't know what to do with them. So I think those are a cool little piece if you want something that you can put up that's very different than any other game would ever allow you to have. Like, I don't know any game that gives away printing plates. It's just the most random things. I do have some old legacy promos. What I would like to do, like we did in the last auction, this time it would be actually the 8 anime champion cards. So 4 of them with text, 4 of them without, and then having that framed. I think that would be a really cool one.
Yeah.
I have some cool stuff coming in that's signed from some of the artists, including things like Epic Cabus or Angels of Retributions. So I think those would be some fun stuff. Of course, the Alpha Booster packs that will go in there. But I don't know. I have a bunch of stuff. I just don't know what stuff people would want. That's always the question or concern that I have. I don't want to put things in auctions that people are like, oh, I don't care for this. Like, why would you put this in auction?
Darren said champion posters. Is that more of you asking for an auction thing like that, or you just want posters?
I have some signed posters from Damian left over. Like, he gave me some to do something with them, and I was like, I don't know what to do with these. So, like, his signature is like right down there. As you can tell, like, I'm not a huge collector. Actually, you can't tell from that far away, but I have little, like, pinholes in this. I didn't frame this. This is hung up by sticky tack. It's a signed picture. The only thing I got framed was my diploma. And it's only because my wife's diplomas are framed. And I'm like, I want mine's framed too. Yeah, this isn't signed, though. But yeah, I totally get posters and stuff. I know the art team is sending some stuff that is signed from both Leslie, Damian, Alex, Mario, Philip. Those are coming in soon. And then I got some signed stuff from Camilla, but we'll try to convince Camilla to just be there. And she can sign all the baboons you want. She did some really nice artwork. She did what was it, the rat?
Dust Trail Mouse, Secret,
yes, that's a gorgeous piece.
Baboon,
she did the baboon.
There's a fourth one.
Corruption? Dark Corruption?
Is it Dark Corruption? I know the one that turns into a skeleton.
Yeah, deal 2 dark damage. And yeah. So she did some nice pieces. So we'll try to convince her to show up. If she ever watches this, know that we'll probably come and kidnap you. I want Philip champion art signs. Yeah, Philip did some really nice pieces, right? I love his Raha. Like, that thing is probably one of my favorite. So I'll go through my collection of a bunch of signed things and see what I have. The one thing I will note, and I'm going to keep this as a tradition moving on forever, is that the person who wins a championship, the actual champion card that they played with, I'm taking that. I'm getting you to sign it, and I'm taking it. That is my collection. Like, I think it's in my promo binder. Yeah, it's with the first page of my promo binder. This is the actual Raha that Steve-O used. I went to him and I was like, I want your Raha. I need you to sign it and give it to me. He's like, really? Like, why? He's like, I could just sign any Raha, right? I'm like, no, I want the one you played with specifically. So don't come and play with your, like, special promo version, whatever, right? Come with a normal version.
You got to add that into the contract when they enter the tournament. You wrote it. You signed this contract when you won the championship. That is mine.
It's mine. People coming in with their Anime North like full art Nubia cards, and it's like suckers.
There you go. You got around the prizing again. You're not giving prizing out. You're trading for their champion.
Nice.
It's not prizing. It's trading.
I'm trying to see what else I have that would be like a cool prize thing. Oh, the other thing that I really liked doing this in the auction last year. I don't know how you feel about it, but I did the entire sets. So one card, one of every single card from Beta, one of every single card from J, one from Rays. I'll probably do J2, but I probably won't do the foils because I feel like that gets around a few things, and that might get a little bit
Might be a bit
pricey. Yeah, that's a spicy meatball. Steve, my Anime Nubia suddenly goes straight to the safety deposit box. There weren't many of those. I think I only made 50 of each.
Yeah.
There were not like a lot of the earlier promos. I just made 50 of each because like I use a printer and they primarily make playing card decks. So I didn't make 50. I made 52.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think that's a lot of Will had left the chat. Oh, fun times.
Oh, I got it. You don't need to make the foils. You make your own foil epics. There you go. That's how you get them. Only the championship.
For the championship only. Yeah, I think there'll definitely be some cool stuff. I actually took all the stuff that's like a vault of all of my Genesis collection throughout the years, and it's about like a 6-foot high pile of stuff. Like it's a lot of stuff that I've just collected over the years. I could even look into throwing in some stuff from pre-Genesis era. So I don't know. I also want to hold aside some cool things for the 5-year anniversary. That would be because that's next year, right? And getting to 5 years is a huge accomplishment in itself. So, all right. So, any question from anyone who's watching? But anything from your end as well?
What do you guys want to see at our championship? We haven't asked that.
Yeah,
we asked them.
I'd love to know from the community, do you want to see? What would be a cool event? What would be a cool?
Do we need to bring back old memes? We'll get Lionel's hair, just Lionel's hair. We'll put it on a stadium. We'll put it in a nice fast box.
Oh, we'll have an event there where like people can donate money and Lionel will shave his head and all the money will go towards. If we get a certain amount of money and donations, we'll get Lionel to shave his head.
Darren says he wants to beat me. I'm gonna tell you. If I'm there and if people can face me, I'm not going easy on them. I'm gonna bring the hardest deck.
Oh man, I don't know what my best deck would be. Like the one who I practiced with the most and I did really well with was Idris Monsters. I don't know if that's the one I would play with though. What's your top deck? What's the one that you're the most confident with?
It's funny because I would still say my Spellslingers is probably my most confident, despite not having played it improbably since that last time with Steve-O. Not the championship, but the rematch match
yes.
was when we faced it. I would still be confident in that, despite not having touched it for 2 years. Weirdly enough, from there, apparently my long deck is apparently when I play long. Currently, the joke is whenever somebody else plays long, it's not the same as when I play long. I don't know. That's the thing apparently.
I was gonna say my second best deck was a long deck too. We got just like long deck versus long deck. Let's see how. But mine's just themed. Like I do the long holy deck. You just do long summoner, right?
Yeah. I play gorillas, which not many people play Enraged Gorillas.
You got yourself some long monkeys.
Yeah.
Ben says cosplayers. We can totally encourage that. It'd be like, all right, we'll do a cosplay contest. Whoever has the best one will get some awesome prizing.
Yeah.
I'll figure something out. Yeah. Make a note of that, Alex.
All right, noted. Now, these are recorded, right?
Yes.
It's been noted.
My work here is done.
When we go to talk about it with other people about the championship, we're gonna be like, well, you just have to rewatch the live stream from the other day.
It's part of the contract. I officially agree to everything that was said on the live stream on September 7th. Oh, fun times. All right. I guess we can just wrap up here. Let me throw up the closing screen. I changed the closing screen animation to that Gamilla Angel Retribution artwork because it's just awesome. I love these animated artworks. Like, Mikhail does such a great job. Alright, so I guess that's it for now. As we get more information for the championship, we'll start posting that. I said it earlier this morning, but all that information will first and foremost show up in my vlog before it shows up anywhere else. Because the people who are committed to watch my vlog every single day, they're the ones who get information first.
That's fair. That's fair. You gonna do posters again for each store to hang up?
That was something I definitely told Chris that we did that last time. I think it would be a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was kind of pricey. It was kind of.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah. I think they were like $20 a poster.
What?
Yeah. Because
What
I got
are you
like
on
good
about?
quality posters.
Why are you buying such $20 posters?
It's because there's a huge price jump the moment you go over like the 12 by 18 inch. Like the moment you make a poster larger than that, they become so expensive. Like, you
That's
know how
crazy.
we got more posters made for the stores to do demos on?
Yeah.
Those are not cheap posters.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
I need a date ASAP. I mean, once we have one, all I'm gonna say is mid to late November.
Darren says Steve-O's name is listed twice on your list of Patreons.
He is because he has multiple Patreon subscriptions. If you also watch, you'll see that Mackenzie Terrell, Pat Terrell, and Cam Terrell. So that's his daughter, his mom, and his son. All have Patreon packs as well. It wasn't a typo. He has that many Patreon subscriptions. It's actually there 3 times because there's 2 Steve-O Terrells and a Steve Terrell. So, yeah, exactly, Steven. His name surrounds yours because he has a Steve and a Steve-O. Oh, Steve-O's the greatest. All right, that's it for tonight. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll talk next week. Vlog tomorrow morning. Join me for that. Do we have anything else happening this week that people should know about?
Blah blah blah.
Future League on Friday.
Future
Then
League
Mondays.
every day. Future League's every day. Every day is Future
Yeah,
League.
actually, literally, I saw a message show up on my phone. Someone was saying, anyone up for Future League tonight? So, that's happening all the time. Future League, and then a bunch of other stuff happening. All right, bye.
Bye, guys.